So I was talking to my colleague Laura Hilliger today, and I was talking to her about various tools that we may or may not use, and sharing some that she hadn't seen and some that she hadn't used for a while. So I just wanted to share some with you because I haven't done this for just over a year now, and I've got a new job. I work from Mozilla, and my life's a bit different. I work from home. So here's some stuff that I use now, and some of the stuff I've used before, and some I haven't. So here we go. First of all, different windows here. You can see I have different numbers depending on what time of the day and what day of the week it is. But at the moment, right now, it's Tuesday afternoon, and I've got 6 virtual desktops open. Sometimes I have 7, sometimes I have 2. It just depends. So this one is Firefox. This one is TweetDeck. This one is Thunderbird. This one is IRC through Instant Bird and Skype and Call Recorder. This one is Spotify, and the last one is things like Finder and TextEdit. Right, so let's just go through them very quickly. So I've got in Firefox, I have app tabs which I pin. They are Google Calendar, my work record where I write down everything I've done, Google Plus, Bottlenose, which seems not to be playing very nicely in Firefox at the moment, so I'm running in Safari. If you haven't seen that before, it's kind of an information dashboard which is extremely useful. It monitors various social networks and tells you what's kind of trending in various areas. Quite useful when you come across that recently. What else have I got in there? In the bookmarklets bar, I've got Read Now. So let's just take an article on my website. If you click on Read Now, what it does is it formats it in a way that you've chosen so that you can read it more easily, because we've all seen websites where it's very difficult to read but it's got interesting content. So you can click on Read Now. Pinterest is kind of a visual way you can pin things to a virtual kind of pin board, I suppose. Pocket is interesting. Pocket, what it does is when you click on it, it adds it to some kind of place where you can come back to it later. So you can add tags to things. Let's just type open badges here. And then when I go to my Pocket account, get Pocket, and also the app on my Nexus 7, what it does is it collects all of the different things which I found interested. Didn't have a time for it to read there, and when you click on it, it does a similar thing where it formats it really nicely. So that's something which I find very useful. Delicious, I use less and less now because I use Tumblr more and more. I've got a blog called Thought Shrapnel, which is a Tumblr blog which just allows me to push stuff to it which I find interesting, that automatically tweets it out. Buffer allows you to schedule tweets, so for example retweeting my own stuff time and time again, or just scheduling things I want to send out later. Pipe allows you to send things like photographs from one service to another. We use Etherpad quite a lot at Mozilla, so this is a private Etherpad that I've got, which lists all of the Etherpads which I need to be aware of. The good thing about Etherpad is by default they're open, and you can quite easily share them and collaborate with other people, and in conjunction with things like Skype, they're extremely useful and are central to what we do at Mozilla. Spigot is an aggregator for a lot of the stuff that goes down with the MacArthur-funded DML projects. So that's always a good way to find out what's happening in especially kind of North American education. Bottlenose I've already mentioned. MAMP is a way of running WordPress locally on your own machine rather than on the web if you want to make some changes to your website. And X-ray goggles is something, it's a Mozilla tool which I'll not talk about now. LastPass is a password manager. It logs you in automatically to various places. It allows you to have very secure passwords. Ghostery means you don't get tracked as much across the web. I've got other things like Firebug and web developer toolbars. Download them all is fantastic. It has a download manager, which means you not only download things faster, but it means you can resume downloads which are interrupted. Collusion is a plugin which shows how people track you across the web. Whoops. You can see how I use hot corners. So the top right shows me the desktop, the bottom right shows me all the windows on that desktop. But also at the bottom of the screen here, what I've got is Fox clocks, and Fox clocks tells you the time in various places. You kind of get used to this after a while. So for example, Los Angeles, where one of my members of my team is, who's actually my line manager, she's 8 hours behind British summertime, but it gets interesting when at daylight savings time. So I've got people in Toronto and New York who are in my team, and Berlin and various other places. So it's good to have that down there. TweetDeck, I'm still running the Adobe Air version because I don't like the HTML5 version. I haven't come across anything which is as nice. I've got direct messages over here and mentions, and core people who I follow all the time, and friends who I kind of just scroll past. I've got open badges and my own name in case I want to respond to stuff, and also conference tweets. Thunderbird I've got set up so that basically I have two folders. There's other ones which I use occasionally, but mainly action, they're the things I need to do. And inbox, you can see that's looking gloriously empty because on view I go to view and threads within red. If you go to all, you can see that I've got like a jillion emails there, but I don't need to do anything with them, as they're just there for reference. So I go to threads within red and I can have a gloriously clear inbox, which is wonderful. Here I have InstantBird, which is an IRC client. So I'm on Badges, Foundation, Learning and London for Mozilla. I'm still getting used to IRC. Skype, so you can see Laura's there from this morning. I have other people. I've got favourites there, people I talk to the most, and call recorder. I always record my calls so I can come back to them. Spotify, I've got lots of playlists. At one time I was trying to make all of them situation based, so you can see here I've got relaxing and working and walking and train and driving and stuff, but realistically I do listen to ones by certain artists. I just had one by AIM this morning. So it's good to have playlists and collaborative ones, and the really good thing about Spotify is you can add things like Last.fm to it and Mood Agent. So Mood Agent, for example, you say I want one which sounds like Lemon Jelly Spacewalk. It creates a mood playlist, and then when you do it, then off you go, and it's just all music like that, which is wonderful, adding apps to Spotify. And then the last one, like I mentioned, is just kind of find the windows and text edit and that kind of thing. Okay, at the top I use Timey. Timey is a program where you can specify a countdown time, then it pops up on the screen that time has been reached. So according to the Pomodoro technique, what you should do is work in kind of 25-minute blocks of time, and then have a 5-minute rest. So I click play, and then you can see it counts down there in the title bar and on that thing there, and then when it gets to the end, then it pops up and tells you need to take a break. So that's that. I've also got a couple of things in terms of privacy. So when I think that it might be something sensitive, like activist stuff or websites that I don't want people to track me on, or whatever it is, I can connect to iPredator, which connects me to Sweden. The Pirate Bay has got a VPN which I can connect to. And then when I'm on open networks, quite often I can't connect. It blocks things like VPN. So I use something called Sidestep, and if I connect to that, then it reroutes all my traffic through an SSH tunnel so that people can't hack into my Wi-Fi. So that's quite good. I use Google Docs quite a lot. What else do I use? Annoyingly, for some reason, it doesn't save my password, which I've just revealed to the world, in there. So you can see I've now got a secure connection. There we are. Disconnect as well. Well, I'm going to change my password after this. Never mind. So that's that. And what else do I do? That's pretty much it, actually. I don't use Time Machine to back up anymore because I found it slow and clunky. And down the side, I have these things here. So Evernote I use quite a lot, especially when I'm planning. When I'm on a train, I haven't got a very good Wi-Fi connection. I plan blog posts, and I collate. Actually, I should probably show that. So I collate messages. I use Seashore to edit images because it's free and easy and looks nice. But Evernote, what I do is, if it's going to load up quickly enough, you can see here presentations. I've got past presentations there where I just throw ideas. So if I have an idea in the shower or idea on a train or wherever, I just stick it in there, and then kind of collate it together afterwards. So there we are, just messing about and chucking ideas together. So that works quite well. So there we are. That's most of the things I use on a day-to-day basis. I've probably forgotten some things, but I'd be very interested if you share yours as well. Thank you.